continuing with what topic we are doing? Narad Muni is instructing the second set of Daksha's sons. First set was called as Haryashvas. Second set? Yes, Anand Leela Mataji, thank you. But I'm happy you are there. Okay. Yes. Second set of sons. First set 10,000 sons, Haryashvas, and second set 1,000 sons called yes.
Savalashwas.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Savalashwas. So text number 31. Narad Muni is telling, a brother aware of the principles of religion follows in the footsteps of his elder brothers. Because of being highly elevated, such a pious brother gets the opportunity to associate and enjoy with demigods like the Maruts, who all are affectionate to their brothers. So, in one way, Narad Muni advised Daksha's second group of sons to follow their elder brothers and be promoted to the spiritual kingdom. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says you will enjoy, it's real enjoyment. That means you will enjoy like your elder brothers. So they have gone to the spiritual world, so you also follow them. Text 32, Sukadeva Goswami continued, O best of the advanced Aryans means advanced civilized souls. After saying this much to the sons of Prajapati Daksha, Narad Muni, whose merciful glance never goes in vain, left as he had planned. The sons of Daksha followed their elder brothers, not attempting to produce children, they engaged themselves in Krishna consciousness. So the second son also followed their elder brothers, and they did the same. So what will happen to Daksha now? What can you think of? 10,000 sons gone, and now 1,000 sons also, going to go in the same path. The Shavalashvas took to the correct path, which is obtainable by a mode of life meant to achieve devotional service or the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Like knights that have gone to the west, they have not returned even until now. That means they have taken that path with full conviction. They have not returned back. And at this time, Prajapati Daksha observed many inauspicious signs. We sense something inauspicious happening. So like that, Daksha also says that, and he heard from various sources that his second group of sons, the Savalashvas, had followed the path of their elder brothers in accordance with the instructions of Narada. The same preacher has, preached or polluted or whatever, to my second set of sons also he came to know. And when he heard this, that the Shavalashvas had also left this world to engage in devotional service, he was very happy or angry?
Angry.
He was very angry. He was very angry at Narada, and he almost fainted due to lamentation. Chakra gaya, kya hai ye? He almost fainted due to lamentation. And when Daksha met Narada, Daksha's lips began trembling in anger. When we are in anger, हमारे होठ अपने आप हिलते रहते हैं. So his lips began trembling in anger, and he spoke as follows. So, this hard heart feeling is coming in the form of anger, and he started speaking. And now next further verses are really, we can relate to that what happens to a parent when their child or children, takes to this process and does not continue their lineage or whatever. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that Narad Muni had delivered the entire family of Swayambhu Manu. See, the translation said that Daksha was very angry and he spoke as follows. That means he is speaking to Narad Muni. That means Narad Muni has gone there. So Prabhupada is telling in the purport. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says Narad Muni had delivered the entire family of Swayambhu Manu. So you see, beginning with Priyavrat, Uttanpad, their two sons, right? And then he had delivered Uttanpad's son. Who is Uttanpad's son? Dhruva. And had even delivered Prachinibari, his son. And then Prachinibari's son is 10 Prachetas. And his grandsons, this Prachinibari's grandson, that means Pracheta's son, Haryashvas and these Savalashvas, they were all delivered. So he could not deliver Prajapati Daksha so far. Who? Narad Muni. So Prajapati Daksha saw Narad before him. Narad had personally come to deliver him. इतने सबको deliver करते बोले ये क्यों बचा रहे हैं? He is left. Let me. He is not coming to me. Let me go. Go to his place only. Let me only go. So Narad Muni took the opportunity to approach Prajapati Daksha in his bereavement, because the time of bereavement is a suitable time for appreciating Bhakti Yoga. When we are in distressful situation, when we are diseased, Krishna says, right, in Bhagavad Gita, Arto Artarti Jigyasu Jnani. These four kind of people approach, right? So Prajapati Daksha was in great distress, in a lamenting situation, and because of the loss of his sons. And Narad Muni thought this is a good opportunity to instruct him regarding liberation from material bondage. Preacher always sees in that mood, he always sees the potential in somebody. So Narad Muni also, he said, Daksha is lamenting, so now is the right time. If he does not come to me, let me go to him. And that's how he went. He himself went to Daksha. And that's how Daksha was so angry with him, and he was lamenting also. So he started speaking. Now these further few verses we will hear very attentively. Shri Daksha Uvacha, what he says, what is his reaction? He's telling Asadhu Akari, Asadhu Akarya Arbhakanam. So every word like Aho Asadhu, he is addressing him as Aho Asadhu. Oh Asadhu. He is telling him, Sadhu, you are not an actual sadhu. Daksha is telling to Narad Muni. We will see why and what is his feeling. He's telling, alas, Narad Muni, you wear the dress of a saintly person. Sadhu lingen nas tvaya. Sadhu lingen. You are in a attire of a sadhu. You wear the dress of a saintly person, but you are not actually a saint. You are a sadhu. Indeed, although I am now in a Grahastha life, I am a saintly person. Although I am in a Grahastha life, I am a saintly person. By showing my sons the path of renunciation, you have done me an abominable injustice. This is Daksha's word straight away, coming. So he's telling, I am saintly, you have produced great misfortune upon me. He's telling in this word. I would never have shown hatred towards you, even in my dreams. What injustice did I do to you that you have taken all my sons and gave them their direction? मैंने आपका क्या बिगाड़ा है? Something like that, What injustice did I do to you? Hare Krishna. I think
Mataji, please unmute yourself. I'm sorry, I was muting.
Yes, I got it. Thank you. So Prajapati Daksha was certainly a sadhu because he had executed such great austerities that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, had appeared before him. So he is a sadhu, no doubt. Nevertheless, he had a fault-finding mentality. So a pure sadhu will not find fault in others, but yes, he is a sadhu, but he had a fault-finding mentality. He improperly thought Narada Muni to be a sadhu or non-saintly, because Narad had foiled his intention. Narad has, took all his sons. So Prajapati Daksha could not see the exaltedness of the duties of Narad Muni, what he performed for, what great favor he has done for his sons. He did not see that. And unable to appreciate Narad Muni's behavior, Daksha started, saying bad words, that you are a sadhu. Oh, a sadhu, like that. So nobody appreciates preacher in the beginning. Like we see many brahmacharis also, they say their experience that when we joined, our parents were very anti. But now they tell with proud, this is my son. I am his mother, or whatever. So in the beginning, it's very difficult. The parents become very angry. And Daksha said, you are envious. He's telling to Narad Muni. You, with envy, not tolerating the happiness of a household life, have shown the path of beggars to my children. Because you are not householder, no? So you don't like, you are envious of our household happy life. So so you have took my children and shown them the path of beggars, This is right. So Prajapati Daksha condemned Narad Muni because Narada, a brahmachari who could beg from door to door, had made sannyasis of Daksha's son, who were being trained to be grahasthas nicely, but he took all of that. So Daksha regarded his sons as innocent boy who had been misled by Narada Muni. So although, Prabhupada says very important point, although parents may be angry at us, we must perform our duty without hesitation, because we are in the disciplic succession of Narada Muni. Even though initially beginning the parents say bad to us, or they don't appreciate what we are doing, but still we should continue because we are in the disciplic succession of Narada Muni. Okay, text 37. Prajapati Daksha said, my sons were not at all freed from their three deaths. Now, every person has these three deaths. Indeed, they did not properly consider their obligations. Death means obligation, that one should do. Narad Muni, O personality of sinful action, you have obstructed their progress towards good fortune in this world and the next, because they are still indebted to the saintly person, the demigod, and their father. These three rents, everyone has. To the sages, saintly person, to the devata, the demigods, and to the pitras, the forefathers. So it is said, as soon as the Brahmana takes birth, he assumes three kinds of death. Death to great saints, to the demigods, and to his father. The son of a Brahmana must undergo celibacy or brahmacharya to clear his debts to the saintly person. He must perform ritualistic ceremonies to clear his debts to the demigods, and he must beget children to become free from his debts to the forefather. So sages ka rin kaise, how we clear it? By following brahmacharya. And for the devatas, by doing sacrifice. And how one repays the death of pitras, the forefathers, by producing offerings, to carry on their lineage. And of course, by offering them water also. So this should happen, and you have stopped them. Prajapati Daksha argued that although the renounced order is recommended for liberation, one cannot attain liberation unless one fulfills these obligations of these three categories. How could Narada Muni have led them to the renounced order of life? So in one way, Daksha did not know the actual decision of the Shastras. Prabhupada says. What he is telling is correct. One should clear all his debts because he has got this human body. But the higher principle he did not know, which Prabhupada says, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, and this verse is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, in one of the purports. Devarshi bhutapta nirnam pitranam na kinkaro nayam rinicha rajan sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam pariritya kartum. Everyone is indebted to demigods, to living entities, to his family, to the pitras, and so on. But if one fully surrenders to Krishna, Mukunda, who can give one liberation, even if one performs no yagyas, one is freed from all the debts. Even if one does not repay his debts, he is freed from all the debts if he renounces the material world, not for sense gratification, but for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose lotus feet are the shelter for everyone, Mukunda. And this is Shastra. So, Narad Muni was completely right in his action of instructing the sons of Daksha, to renounce the world. So Prajapati Daksha did not understand this great service rendered by Narad Muni. So he was kind of upset, and therefore he addressed him as, you have done papa, you have done sinful activity, Vigyata Shreyas Papa. So, O most sinful Narad Muni, you are a sadhu, you have not done good. But Narad Muni, being a great Vaishnava, he tolerated. Prabhupada says. He tolerated all such accusations from Prajapati Daksha, right, for his benefit. So, text number 38. Somebody can read text 38?
Prajapati Daksha continued, thus committing violence against other living entities and yet claiming to be an associate of Lord Vishnu, you are defaming the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You needlessly created a mentality of renunciation in innocent boys, and therefore you are shameless and devoid of compassion. How could you travel with the personal associates of the Supreme Lord?
See, so many things he is kind of criticizing, saying bad words. You are devoid of compassion. Narad Muni is so compassionate. He is telling you are devoid of compassion. You are shameless. You don't have any shame. You have done such a bad task, and you are shameless, and you have come in front of me. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, what can I say to such an evil person like you? The Lord becomes defamed by servants like you. आपके नाम तो मतलब क्या भगवान का नाम भी खराब कर रहे हो, like that. The Lord becomes defamed by servants like you. You have destroyed the fame of the Lord. This is Daksha. This means that you have committed offense against the Lord among the Vaishnavas and also among the devotees like me. You have done offense to the Lord, to the Vaishnavas, and to the devotees like me. He's telling like that in one way. You are shameless. You are devoid of compassion. You are defaming the Supreme Personality of Lord. Bhagwan ka defame liya hai, matlab you have not done good. Same thing happens in so many TV shows or YouTube channels. We see people interviewing, and they bring the parents also whose children have taken into following principles of ISKCON, and they have come and became devotees. So they parents are crying there in front of the camera, and my son IIT or doctor or this and that, and then they these ISKCON people took away, and criticizing and saying so many bad words. So it's common, the same thing. Prabhupada says this mentality of Prajapati Daksha still continues even today. When young boys join the Krishna conscious movement, their fathers, so-called guardians, are very angry at the preachers of Krishna conscious movement, because they think that their sons have been unnecessarily induced or brainwashed kar diya unka or whatever, So Karmis, they think one should fully enjoy his present life to the full extent and perform some pious activities to be promoted to higher planetary, heavenly planet, and enjoy more, in the next life also, but they don't know the real purpose of life. So Prajapati Daksha was in a similar line. He could not appreciate the great service of Narad Muni. That's why he is telling all these words to him. What Narad Muni, has done to his 10,000 plus 1,000, 11,000 sons. Instead, he accused Narad Muni of being sinful and said, you are not compassionate, you are devoid of compassion, and you have defamed the Lord. So Daksha criticized Narad Muni. Already he did some offenses to Lord Shiva, and now what to do? He's criticized. But Narad Muni is tolerating everything, and there is a reason. Prabhupada will explain in further verses why. So text number 39. Somebody would like to read?
All the devotees of the Lord, but you are very kind to the conditioned souls and are eager to benefit others. Although you wear the dress of a devotee, you create enmity with people who are not your enemies, or you break friendship and create enmity between friends. Are you not ashamed of posing as a devotee while performing these abominable actions?
Thank you, Auntie. So, Saurida Gnam is Saurida means a friend who is your well-wisher. Gnam means a breaker. So you have broken our friendship. Oh, no, I have not done anything wrong to you. So he's telling. Saurida not countable among the good devotees of the Lord, a breaker of a friendship. I have shown friendship to you, but you broke the friendship with me. He's telling. Vairam Karam, you create enmity. Vair is very, matlab very is enemy. So Vairam Karam, you create enmity towards Avarinam. Avarinam means towards those who are not enemies. So he is considering himself as very good. I am not your enemy, but you only have created enmity among us. You know? So he is telling like that. All the devotees of the Lord, but you are very kind to the conditioned souls. All the devotees, but you. That means you are not kind. All others are kind. All the devotees of the Lord, but you. You know. So you are not kind, but all the other devotees are kind to the conditional souls and eager to benefit others, but you do not do benefit of others. You wear the dress of a devotee, you wear a sadhu, but you are a sadhu. You create enmity with people who are not your enemies. You break friendship. All these things. Are you not ashamed of posing as a devotee while performing these abominable activities? That means you are doing these abominable activities but wearing this nice dress of a devotee. Are you not shameful? Should have some shame like that, you know. Daksha is telling, Daksha is telling, you have come before me, doing all these things. After doing all these things, you have come before me. You are not you are so shameless. You know? Generally, devotees are compassionate, but you show violence to the other beings, you know. And having shown explicit enmity to me, how are, you know, what confidence do you have? You are, you know, showing your face to me like that. These words, Acharya explained. Daksha was so angry and he was telling such words to Narad Muni. Prabhupada starts with this word. Such are the criticisms that must be borne by the servants of Narad Muni in the disciplic succession. That means people also tell, you know, like this, they criticize. Through the Krishna conscious movement, we are trying to train young people to become devotees and return home back to Godhead by following rigid regulatory principles, but service is appreciated neither in India nor in the Western countries. Why not in India? Because there are some Smarta Brahmanas, caste Brahmanas, who have become enemies of Krishna conscious movement. Why? Because they think we are bringing Malachas and such low people, Yavanas, to the position of Brahmanas. You know? Prabhupada is telling we are training them nicely and they are really getting changed and doing austerities and penances and then we give them Brahman thread and they are following everything. But these caste Brahmanas, they are telling, no, we are Brahmanas. Though they might not be following, they must be drinking or they must not be following all the principles, not getting up in the morning even. But they are telling, no, we are born Brahmanas, so we are actual Brahmanas. So he's telling, Prabhupada is telling, our service is not appreciated in India. And not even in the West. Why? Because when we are bringing young people, so their parents are criticizing us. You know? So we also don't get any good this thing, but we have to continue. We have no business creating enemies, but the process is such that non-devotees will always be inimical. They think they are right and we are wrong. Nevertheless, a devotee should be both tolerant and merciful. Tolerant and merciful. If somebody is telling like this, be tolerant and continue your preaching. So, tolerant and merciful. Nice. Preaching can be a difficult, thankless task. Thankless task. This word is written by Prabhupada in one of the purport in the beginning, you know, first canto. Thankless task. People are criticizing, but we have to continue. Preaching can be a difficult, thankless task, but a preacher must follow the orders of the Supreme Lord and be unafraid of the materialistic people because they are in ignorance, you know, they don't know. So they are telling like that. Once they know, they will appreciate, you know, thinking that we should continue. Text number 40. Prajapati Daksha continued, if you think that simply awakening the sense of renunciation will detach one from the material world, I must say that unless full knowledge is awakened, simply changing dress as you have done cannot possibly bring detachment. Every single word is like hurting you. Telling changing dress as you have done. cannot possibly bring detachment. So, in one way, he is right. Like Prabhupada says, in India, many people wear just orange dress, saffron dress to earn, softness of people and to get something from them and, do their livelihood like that. So Prajapati Daksha was correct in one sense, stating that changing one's dress cannot detach one from the material world. The sannyasis of Kali Yuga who change their robes from white to saffron and think that they can do whatever they like are more abominable than even the materialistic people. So this is not recommended anywhere. So he's correct in one way. Just changing dress does not bring detachment. Prajapati Daksha was right in pointing out this defect, but he did not know that Narad Muni had aroused the spirit of renunciation in the Haryashvas and Savalashvaras through full knowledge. It is not just they were very innocent and he just preached and he changed his dress and they are. It is also said, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was telling, that Daksha is telling, in few days they may come back, because the detachment should come from inside. It is not Falgu Vairag. It should not be a Falgu Vairag. It should be from real. It should come from within. When we have complete knowledge, then it will come from within. So, unless one's knowledge is awakened, renunciation cannot take place. For without elevated knowledge, one cannot give up attachment for material things, material enjoyment. Right? So that is true. So it is true that detachment is possible by the mercy of great devotees. And although you, Narada, you think that this detachment or this voice has gone because of you, but it is not because of you, because you are not a great devotee. So this detachment has not come because of you. That is his word. Text number 41, if somebody can read, that would be nice.
Material enjoyment is indeed the cause of all unhappiness, but one cannot give it up unless one has personally experienced how much suffering it is. Therefore, one should be allowed to remain in so-called material enjoyment while simultaneously advancing in knowledge to experience the misery of this false material happiness. Then, without help from others, one will find material enjoyment detestful. Detestful. Those whose minds are changed by others do not become as renounced as those who have personal experience. Mataji, I have a question.
Yes.
Mataji, there are three types of people. One who just understand if other person is making that person understand. So he's in this, it's saying no. That type of person, if that type of person renounce, so he will not get the realization, he will go back to the material enjoyment. But they are stressing for the second type of people who experience, then they do. So what is correct, Mataji?
Yeah. So there are two thoughts here. Narad Muni's thought and Daksha's thought. So you correctly pointed this thing that we always hear, you hear and understand why you want to experience and then, why you want to fall down and then get up. After falling, you'll get hurt. Better, like putting your finger on a fan. We get this example always. So these two understanding is there. One is presented by Narad Muni that, this place is full of miseries. Don't get entangled, better come out of it. But Daksha says this is false renunciation. One should experience that pain and then get into the realization that yes, this is miserable place. So this two understanding is different, and both of them have their own views. An example is given. Unless a woman becomes pregnant, she will not understand the pain of giving a birth to the child. So according to Daksha, he is telling one should become pregnant, understand that pain, and then once she will understand that, oh, it is so painful, I will not again, beget another child. But as soon as she gets the child and then, the smile of a child and so on, after a year or next year or whatever, another child, it's written here in the purpose. A woman become pregnant, she cannot understand. It is said, unless a woman become pregnant, she cannot understand the trouble of giving birth to a child. The word bandhya means a sterile woman. Such a woman, matlab a woman, banj bolte hain na, the one who cannot give birth to a child, she cannot understand the pain of giving birth, the pain or the experience of giving birth. According to the philosophy of Prajapati Daksha, so there are two philosophies. One is Narad Muni's what he preached, and another philosophy is according to the philosophy of Prajapati Daksha, a woman should first become pregnant, then experience the pain of childbirth. Then, if she is intelligent, she will not want to become pregnant again. Actually, however, this is not a fact. Sex enjoyment is so strong that a woman becomes pregnant and suffers at the time of childbirth, but she becomes pregnant again. Despite her experience, according to Daksha's philosophy, one should become implicated in material enjoyment first, so that after experiencing the distress of such enjoyment, he will automatically renounce. This is Daksha's philosophy. Material nature, however, is so strong, Prabhupada is telling. Although a man suffers at every step, he will not stop his attempts to enjoy. Tripyanti neha kripana bahu dukha bhaja. He takes bahu dukha usko milta hai, but he does not cease until and unless he hears. Under the circumstances, unless one gets the association of a devotee like Narad Muni or his servant in disciplic succession, one's dormant spirit of renunciation cannot be awakened. We keep looking for happiness in this material world. Oh, this is the reason I could not get that much happiness. Let me go there and find happiness there. Let me go more ahead, like a mirage effect, There is no water, but we are like, oh, more ahead, I'll get water, So this is like that. Unless we come to in association of a pure devotee. It is not a fact that because material enjoyment involves so many painful conditions, one will automatically become detached. It is not like that. One needs the blessing of a devotee. Then one can renounce. So what Narad Muni did was right. But according to Daksha, his philosophy is different. And that's what he thinks. And he thinks, I am right. So this verse, Daksha is considering Narad Muni as wrong, and he is telling, listen, you listen to me, the royal words, the royal path of detachment is this, that without having experienced how material enjoyment gives suffering, a person cannot, know that condition. But after understanding the suffering, whatever he, got from the enjoyment, then he will naturally detach himself. And that should happen. So, this is two different philosophies. This is Daksha's philosophy. That first we should suffer, realize, then we will get detachment. But actual, according to the scriptures, according to Narad Muni, according to devotees, it will not happen unless we come in contact with a pure devotee. Otherwise, we keep searching and keep looking for enjoyment more and more and more and more and more, like a mirage effect. So, text 42.
Although I live in household life with my wife and children, I honestly follow the Vedic injunctions by engaging in fruitive activities to enjoy life without sinful reactions. I have performed all kinds of yagyas, including the Dev Yagya, Rishi Yagya, Pitra Yagya, and Nir Yagya, because these yagyas are called vratas, vows. I am known as a Grahavrata. Unfortunately, you have given me great displeasure by misguiding my sons for no reason to the path of renunciation. This can be tolerated once.
Yeah. In every verse you see, in every verse of Daksha from last few verses, he's so arrogant, and he's criticizing Narad Muni, and he's proving that I am better. You are a sadhu, I am sadhu. And now in this verse also he's telling, although I am in a householder life, I am Griha Vrata. I am doing all the vratas nicely. So I am better. He's telling for you, and also I have tolerated. So I have tolerance quality also. What I have tolerated, when you did this thing for my first earlier 10,000 sons, I did not say anything to you. So I am more tolerant also. So every way he is proving that he is more better, And he has said, I live in a household life with my wife and children. And I honestly follow all the things, all the vratas I am doing. I am not Grahamedi. I am Grahavrata. The new word, I'm following all the vratas here. So I have performed all kinds of yagnas, all kinds of vratas, everything. So it is my, unfortunate that you have given me great displeasure by misguiding my sons. I'm doing all correct, everything correct, For no reason, you have created enmity and you have misguided my sons. And one time I have tolerated this, but you have done this second time. Daksha stressed that when Narada had misled his first set of sons, Daksha had taken no action. He had been kind and tolerant. He was angry, but then Brahmaji came and pleased. He said, okay, go ahead with another, children. So he went. He did not do anything to Narada. He was aggrieved, however, because Narad Muni had done this second time. So, although dressed like a sadhu, Narad Muni is not actually a sadhu. And although he is dressed in a householder, he is a greater sadhu than Narad Muni. Yeah, I am better. Text 43.
You have made me lose my sons once, and now you have again done the same inauspicious thing. Therefore, you are a rascal who doesn't know how to behave towards others. You may travel all over the universe, but I curse you to have no residence anywhere.
When we keep saying bad words, ultimately some curse comes. So he's telling so much, and then he's telling, you have again done the same inauspicious thing, so you are a rascal. My God, you are a rascal. You have done this puna achara, the same thing again. Mudha is the word. Oh rascal, not knowing how to act. You are wandering here and there, but you are actually a mudha, rascal. You are a rascal who does not know how to behave towards others. You may travel all over the universe, but I curse you, you have no residence anywhere. So you have given misfortune to me by taking my sons. You also have this misfortune that you will have no place to stay. And Prabhupada clearly says, Daksha is telling, you caused separation from my children. You will also have not proper place at one place to stay anywhere, anytime. So Prabhupada clearly explains this very beautifully. Because Prajapati Daksha was a Grahamedi who wanted to remain in the household life, he thought that if Narad Muni could not remain in one place but had to travel all over the world, that would be a punishment. For a grahastha, it's a punishment if I have to keep traveling and I am not at home. So he thinks this is a punishment, so he gave the same to Narad Muni, according to his thinking. Narad Muni, if Narad Muni could not remain in one place but had to travel all over the world, that would be a great punishment. So, actually, however, such a punishment is a boon for a preacher. A preacher wants to go to different places, In one city also he goes to different houses. And then now, he goes to different cities, different states. And you see many preachers now go to different countries for preaching. They make yearly, monthly, whatever visits to different cities and different countries. So it's a good for preacher, if you get chance, if you get visas of different countries, and if you get people to preach and arrange for their, preaching programs and in different companies and all, it's good. So such a punishment is a boon for a preacher. Preacher is known as Parivrajak an acharya or a teacher who always travels for the benefit of the human society. So Prajapati Daksha cursed Narad Muni by saying this, that he has no facility to stay at one place. It is actually a boon. And in the parampara of Narad Muni, this Prabhupada says, I also have this curse. I also keep traveling. So this is in one way good for a preacher. If he get more and more opportunity at different places, he can preach and approach many people. So 44th verse.
Sri Shukdev Goswami continued, "My dear king, since Narada Muni is an approved saintly person, when cursed by Prajapati Daksha, he replied, Tadbadam, yes, what you have said is good. I accept this curse. He could have cursed Prajapati Daksha in return, but because he is a tolerant and merciful sadhu, he took no action."
Yes. Sadhu means titikshava karunika. Suhrida sarvadehinam. Ajata shatrave shanta sadhuva sadhu bhushana. This is the ornaments of a sadhu. These qualities, titikshava, karunika, peaceful, merciful, tolerant, and all these things. So he has no enemies. Ajata shatrava, no enemies. So he was quiet. He could have said something bad, but no, he is a pure devotee. He is a Vaishnava. He is tolerant and merciful. Most elevated of all the sadhus. So to deliver Prajapati Daksha, he silently tolerated the curse. This is important line. To deliver Prajapati Daksha. And it will come more detail, the reason he always. Second thing, he could have already left, no? When he is telling so many bad words, Narada Muni could have left. Ek chhadi ghumai, he could have, vanished. Gayab ho gaye hote. But nahi, he stayed. He stayed there. And he listened everything. And he tolerated also. He did not counter curse to deliver Prajapati Daksha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught this principle also for all of us also to tolerate. Pranadapi Sunichena, this verse Prabhupada says. Not only is he sometimes cursed, but sometimes he must also suffer personal injury. A preacher, Prabhupada is talking about. A preacher, sometimes people, they say some bad, sometimes they hurt also by, or they hurt, like an example here is given Nityanand Prabhu and Jagai Madai example. Nityanand Prabhu was bleeding. So they suffer personal injury also, these preachers sometimes, but they tolerate because they are compassionate, they are merciful, they want to deliver that person, so they don't mind their discomfort also. Now I would like someone to read the last paragraph. It conveys many important points. It's a duty of a preacher to continue preaching, tolerating every things, and be merciful because we know the person is suffering and therefore he is telling all these things. So we should understand as understanding the scriptures and tolerate and wish him good always. So somebody can read the last paragraph of this chapter.
Now it may be asked why Narad Muni stayed in the presence of Prajapati Daksha and tolerated all his accusations and curses. Was that for Daksha's deliverance? The answer is yes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that after being insulted by Prajapati Daksha, Narad Muni should have left immediately, but he purposely stayed to hear all Daksha's strong words so that Daksha might be relieved of his anger. Prajapati Daksha was not an ordinary man. He had accumulated the results of many pious activities. Therefore, Narad Muni accepted that after delivering his curse, Daksha, satisfied and freed from anger, would repent his misbehavior and thus get a chance to become a Vaishnav and be delivered. When Jagai and Madhai offended Lord Nityananda Prabhu stood tolerantly and therefore both brothers fell at his lotus feet and repented. Consequently, then later became perfect Vaishnavas. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad of 6th and 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam titled Narad Muni Curse by the Prajapati.
Yes. These people, or sometimes when we also preach and somebody get upset with us and they say bad words, they test us. You think you are sadhu, but if we say back something, then they point us out, they catch us. But when we quietly listen and tolerate, after their anger is subsided, they appreciate also, right? And that brings them the opportunity, it opens their door to take Krishna consciousness on their level, whatever, wherever they are. So that's why Narad Muni expected the same thing, that After he will become free from anger, he will think, oh, I said so many bad words to Narada, but he was just listening, he tolerated. So why I should tell? Later we repent. Now in anger we say something, but later we repent. And when Daksha will repent, oh, why should I criticize Narada? He did not say anything, and when he will repent, when his anger will subside, then when he will appreciate Narada, he will get some sukritis. So slowly his process will start, like that. He would repent his misbehavior and he'll get chance to become a Vaishnava and be delivered. Like example of Jagai Mata here. Later they became great Vaishnava. So that is the tolerance. That is the fruit of tolerance, basically. So therefore, devotees should always tolerate and not become angry and do counter cursing. Because everybody understands after they they get out of their conditioning, they understand and they appreciate them. So this is chapter number 5. We finished. In short, Daksha started progeny, and their son went to the forest or to Narayan Saras, this river, and they were doing austerities, and Narad Muni preached them, and they got, they went for the path of self-realization. Then another set of sons, they also did the same. Narad Muni was upset, and then, Daksha was upset, and then he said bad words to Narad Muni. Narad Muni tolerated for his deliverance, for his good. And now, what happens is the next chapter. So, and of course, then Narad Muni leaves because he sees that he at least he gave him some opportunity, and he subsided his anger. When you are angry and when you say something, then you become relaxed also. So that was happened, and then what happened next is the progeny of daughters of Daksha. Anyway, Daksha has to do his duty, so he has to again beget. Now he was intelligent. No more sons. Now I will beget daughters. So Prajapati Daksha got 60 daughters now, and every daughter got married to one another Prajapati or sage, and then progeny started. So we will quickly go through this chapter. It's basically the list of names. Yes, Rukmani Harisevni Mad. Anything?
Mataji, the purport is in very later, like on 22 verse. There is a purport after first purport. So shall I read till 22?
You mean fifth chapter?
Yes, Mataji. Next chapter.
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, "My dear king, thereafter, at the request of Lord Brahma, Prajapati Daksha, who is known as Prachetas, begot 60 daughters in the womb of his wife Akshini. All the daughters were very affectionate towards their father. He gave 10 daughters in charity to Dharamraj, Yamraj, 13 to Kashyapa, first 12 and then one more, 27 to the moon god, and 2 each to Angira, Krishashwa, and Bhuta, and other four daughters were given to Kashyapa. Then Kashyapa received 17 daughters in all. Now please hear from me the names of all these daughters and their descendants who filled all the 3 worlds. The 10 daughters.
Yeah, wait, Matt. Yeah, I thought you have questions. No, you wanted to say. Okay, thank you. So, Prajapati Daksha, the first verse, translation and purport says, after the incidents concerning the loss of his many sons, Daksha repented his misunderstanding with Narad Muni. See, he repented his misunderstanding with Narad Muni. Sometimes we take charge and we act in certain way that somebody has done wrong and I am right, and we keep saying bad words without understanding this is Lord's plan, or whatever happened, something good is there. So later we repent. So that's what Daksha repented his misunderstanding with Narad Muni. Lord Brahma then saw Daksha and instructed him to beget children again. Go ahead. You are doing your duty. Let him do his duty. So you have to beget, he has to deliver. Go on. Lord Brahma then saw Daksha and instructed him to beget children again. This time Daksha was very cautious to beget female children instead of male children. So Narad Muni would not disturb them by urging them to accept the renounced order. Females are not meant for the renounced order of life. Very important here. Earlier days, we see females are, Prabhupada also say, girls should be always under protection. They should not take the renounced order of life, sannyas. They should, of course, they remain in householder life, remain wherever in ashram she is in, and she can, in her consciousness, be renounced, doing all her sevas and activities, but not taking renounced order of life. They should be faithful to their good husband. So that means, as a girl under protection of father, and then under husband, and then later under their son, the woman. So they should be faithful to their good husband. For if a husband is competent for liberation, that means if he is a good devotee, his wife will also achieve liberation with him. So a woman's duty is to serve her husband very carefully, very nicely, assist him, support him, understand his mood, make all the arrangements like that. She need not do a great austerities, going away or going in other direction. So wife should always assist husband, whatever seva is required, and whatever. If husband is a devotee, that's very, very much beneficial. That great combination. For if a husband is competent for liberation, his wife will also achieve liberation with him. And as stated in the Shastra, the result of husband's pious activities are shared by his wife, Ardhangini. Therefore, a woman's duty is to be very chaste and faithful to her husband. Then without separate endeavor, she will share in all the profit the husband earns. So, this is a learning point for all Mataji and for me also, for everyone. We should have means it's our good fortune that if we have a devotee husband, we should just serve him, assist him. That's our success. Lord will be pleased, and we will achieve our destination. If we do our duties in that way nicely. So Daksha now gave birth to the daughters. So daughters will not renounce, and then they will go for progeny. Yes, Mataji?
Mataji, if a husband is not a devotee, and if because I've seen many Matajis who are very good devotees, they are serving, and I mean they're very good in services and all, but and okay, fine, their husbands are supporting them to go for the services and all, but they are not devotee. So what about them?
Still they have
What
to serve and be patient.
then the husband will share the I mean, as it's written here, that she will share in all the profit that husband earns. So, I mean, if the wife is a devotee, then husband will share the profit she earns.
100%. Why? Because it is said now, even if one devotee becomes, then so many generations before and after they get benefit. So why not husband? 100% he will get benefit, and eventually he will also become devotee. I have seen in my years
Yes,
of
Mataji.
business, if wife is serving nicely, the husband will appreciate. Oh, she's in good association, and her consciousness in making prasadam, her consciousness in keeping the house clean and in serving, it will all affect, and her association, subtle way also, it will affect him. And I've seen many cases where husbands were very rigid in the beginning, but wives submissively serving over the years. Now the husband is also initiated devotee. Earlier it was so difficult situation that she was always used to, she was crying and then chanting behind the bars, like, hiding and chanting. But the situation has changed. So if we sincerely serve, then they also become devotees. Everyone is potential devotee. Then why not husband?
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so Mataji has read second verse. So he gave 10 daughters in charity to Dharmaraj Yamaraj, and 13 to Kashyap, and then 4 again to Kashyap. So 13 plus 4, 17 to Kashyap Muni, 27 to the moon god, and 2 to Angira, 2 to Tishrasva, and 2 to Bhuta. I may share the screen to know this in detail, but we can move on with the fourth verse. Yes. You can continue reading, I think, for next few verses. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am. Now please hear from me the names of all these daughters and their descendants who filled all the 3 worlds. The 10 daughters given to Yamaraj were named Bhanu, Lamba, Kubud, Yami, Vishwa, Sadhya, Murutvati, Vasu, Muhurata, and Sankalpa. Now hear the names of their sons. O king, a son named Dev Rishabha was born from the womb of Bhanu, and from him came a son named Indrasena. From the womb of Lamba came a son named Vidyut, who generated all the clouds. From the womb of Kukud came the son named Sankat, whose son was named Kikat. From Kikat came the demigods named Durga. From Yami came the son named Swarga, whose son was named Nandi. The son was Vishwadevas, who had no progeny. From the womb of Sadhya came the Sadhyas, who had a son named Arth Siddhi. The 2 sons who took birth from the womb of Murutvati were Murutvan and Jayant. Jayant, who is an expansion of Lord Vasudev, is known as Upendra. The demigod named the Muhurtikas took birth from the womb of Muhurta. These demigods deliver the result of actions to the living entities of their respective times. The son of Sankalpa was known as Sankalpa, and from him Lust was born. The sons of Vasu was known as the 8 Vasus. Just hear their names from me: Dron, Pran, Dhruva, Ark, Agni, Dosh, Vastu, and Vibhavasu. From Abhimati, the wife of the Vasu named Drona, were generated the son names Harsh, Shok, Bhay, and so on. Ujaswati, the wife of Pran, gave birth to 3 sons named Saha, Ayush, and Puru, Purojav. The wife of Dhruva was the wife of Dhruva was known as Dharani, and from her womb various cities took birth. From the womb of Vasana, the wife of Arka, came many sons headed by Tarsha. Dharana, the wife of Vasu named Agni, gave birth to many sons headed by Dravinaka. From Kritika, another wife of Agni, came the son named Skanda, Kartike, whose sons were headed by Vishakha. From the womb of Shavari, the wife of Vasu named Dosha, came the son named Shishumar, who was an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. From Agni Rasi, the wife of Vasu named Vastu, born the great architect Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma became the husband of Akriti, from whom the Manu named Chakshashu was born. The son of Manu were known as the Vishwa Devas and Sadhyas. Usha, the wife of Vibhavasu, gave birth to 3 sons, Vayusta, Rochisa, and Atapa. From Atapa came Panchayama, the span of day, who awakens all living entities to material activities. Surupa, the wife of Bhuta, gave birth to the 10 million Rudras, of whom the 11 principal Rudras were Revat, Aja, Bhava, Bhima, Vama, Ugra, Vrisha, Kapi, Ajay, Kapat, Abhirbhadna, Bahurupa, and Mahan. Their associates the ghosts and goblins who are very fearful were born of the other wife of Bhuta. Mataji, Bhuta is actually ghost here or just a name Bhuta?
Bhuta, the ghost and hobgoblins. Yeah, the associates of Lord Shiva, basically. Rudra, yeah.
The Prajapati Angira had two wives named Suvadha and Sati. The wife named Swadha accepted all the pitas of her sons and Sati accepted the Athar Vangarisha Ved as her son. Krishashva had two wives named Archis and Dhishana. In the wife named Archis, he begot Dhumketu, and in Dhishana he begot four sons named Vedashira, Devala, Vayuna, and Manu. Kashyapa, who is also named Tarksha, had four wives Vinita, Suparna, Kadru, Patangi, and Yamini. Patangi gave birth to many kinds of birds, and Yamini gave birth to locusts. Vinita Suparna gave birth to Garuda, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, and to Anuru or Aruna, the charioteer driver of the sun god. Kadru gave birth to the different varieties of serpents. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Bharatas, the constellations named Kritika were all wives of the moon god. However, because Prajapati Daksha had cursed him to suffer from a disease causing gradual destruction, the moon god could not beget children in any of his wives. Madhu, shall I continue for 24, 26?
Wait a minute. So till here, there were many descendants, the daughters, how they got sons, how many sons from their husband, and their sons and their progeny and everything. One thing here is the constellations named Kritika were all wives of the moon god. However, because of Prajapati Daksha had cursed him to suffer from a disease causing gradual destruction, moon god could not beget children. So when you see here, moon god could not beget because he got a curse from Daksha. It is written here, because the moon god was very much attached to one of the wives, which is Rohini. How many he got? 27 daughters were married to the moon god, but he was attached to one. Attached to one, that means neglecting other 26, right? So, because he was neglecting other 26, Daksha got upset. So he neglected all other wives. Therefore, seeing the bereavement of these daughters, Prajapati Daksha became angry and cursed him. So he did not have any children, because of this curse. Later he pleased him, that is also mentioned, in further verses. Later he pleased him, and somehow he got blessings also of Lord Shiva that he could get some light. So therefore, always, because of this reason, the moon has waxing and waning. We see. So that is the reason. Yes, we can continue from 24 to 26. Someone else also if wants.
May I read, Mataji?
Yes, please.
Text 24 to 26. Translation. Thereafter, the king of the moon pacified Prajapati Daksha with courteous words and thus regained the portions of light he had lost during his disease. Nevertheless, he could not beget children. The moon loses his shining power during the dark fortnight, and in the bright fortnight it is manifest again. O King Parikshit, now please hear from me the names of Kashyapa's wives, from whose wombs the population of the entire universe has come. They are the mothers of almost all the population of the entire universes, and their names are very auspicious to hear. They are Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kashtha, Arishta, Surasa, Ila, Muni, Krodavasha, Tamra, Surabhi, Sarama, and Timi. From the womb of Timi, all the aquatics took birth, and from the womb of Sarama, the ferocious animals like the tigers and lions took birth. Text 27. May I continue, Mataji?
Yes, they
Okay.
are the mothers of almost all the population of the universe, and their names are very auspicious to hear. So those who are telling, they are also getting some benefit, and those of us who are hearing are also getting benefited because their names are very auspicious to hear. They are Aditi, Diti, Danu, So we all know, some names are familiar, some are not, but these are all auspicious. So let's hear them. Please continue, Madam.
Text 27. My dear King Parishad, from the womb of Surabhi, the buffalo, cow, and other animals with cloven hooves took birth. From the womb of Tamra, the eagles, vultures, and other large birds of prey took birth. And from the womb of Muni, the angels took birth. Text 28. The sons born of Krodavasha were the serpents known as Dandashuka, as well as other serpents and the mosquitoes. All the various creepers and trees were born from the womb of Ila. The Rakshasas, bad spirits, were born from the womb of Surasa. Text 29 to 31. The Gandharvas were born from the womb of Arishta, and animals whose hooves are not split, such as the horse, were born from the womb of Kashtha. O king, from the womb of Danu came 61 sons, of whom these 18 were very important. Dvimurda, Shambara, Arishta, Hayagriva, Vibhavasu, Ayomukha, Shankushira, Swarbhano, Kapila, Aruna, Puloma, Vrisha, Vrishaparva, Ekachakra, Anushthapana, Dhumrakesha, Virupaksha, Viprachiti, and Durjaya. Text 32. The daughter of Swarbhano named Suprabha was married by Namuchi. The daughter of Vrishaparva named Sharmishtha was given to the powerful king Yayati, the son of Nahusha. Text 33 to 36. Vaishwanara, the son of Danu, had four beautiful daughters named Upadanavi, Hayashira, Puloma, and Kalaka. Hiranyaksha married Upadanvi, and Kratu married Hayashira. Thereafter, at the request of Lord Brahma, Prajapati Kashyapa married Puloma and Kalaka, the other two daughters of Vaishwanara. From the wombs of these two wives of Kashyapa came 60,000 sons, headed by Nivatakavacha, who are known as Polomus and the Kalakeyas. They were physically very strong and expert in fighting, and their aim was to disturb the sacrifices performed by the great sages. My dear king, when your grandfather Arjuna went to the heavenly planets, he alone killed all these demons, and thus King Indra became extremely affectionate toward him. 37. In his wife, Simhika, Viprachiti begot 101 sons, of whom the eldest is Rahu, and the others are the 100 Ketus. All of them attained positions in the influential planets. 38 to 39. Now, please hear me as I describe the descendants of Aditi in chronological order. In this dynasty, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan descended by his plenary expansions. The names of the sons of Aditi are as follows: Vishwaswan, Aryama, Pusha, Twashta, Savita, Bhaga, Dhata, Vidhata, Varuna, Mitra, Shatru, and Urukrama.
One
Text
second.
40.
Thank you.
Yes, Mataji.
So we see Kashyap Muni plus Danu, they produced all the Danavas. Kashyap Muni with wife Danu, they produce all the Danavas. means demons. And Kashyap Muni with Aditi produced all the Adityas, that means demigods. So one by one, what you are saying, like Vivaswan, Aryama, Pusha, Twashta, Vidhata, Varuna, all these things. So Kashyap Muni and Aditi. Yes, please continue.
Text 40. Samgya, the wife of Vishwaswan, the sun god, gave birth to the Manu, named Shraddha, Deva. And the same fortunate wife also gave birth to the twins Yamraj and the river Yamuna. Then Yami, while wandering on the earth in the form of a mare, gave birth to the Ashwini Kumaras. Text 41. Chaya, another wife of the sun god, begot two sons named Shanaishchara and Savarani Manu, and one daughter Tapati, who married Samvarana. Text 42. From the womb of Matrika, the wife of Aryama, were born many learned scholars. Among them, Lord Brahma created the human species, which are endowed with an aptitude for self-examination. Text 43. Pusha had no sons. When Lord Shiva was angry at Daksha, Pusha had laughed at Lord Shiva and shown his teeth. Therefore, he lost his teeth and had to live by eating only ground flour. Text 44. Rachana, the daughter of Daityas, became the wife of Prajapati Twashtha. By his semina, he begot in her womb two very powerful sons named Sannivesha and Vishwarupa. Text 45. Although Vishwarupa was the son of the daughter of their eternal enemies, the demons, the demigods, accepted him as their priest in accordance with the order of Brahma when they were abandoned by their spiritual master Brihaspati, whom they had disrespected.
Yes. Thank you, Mansi. Although Vishwarup was the son of the daughter of their eternal enemies, the demons. So, son of the daughter is Rachna in the last verse, Rachna, the daughter of the Daityas, became the wife of Prajapati Twashta, and by his semen begot her in a womb two very powerful sons named Sannivesha and Vishwarupa. So, although Vishwarupa was the son of the daughter of their eternal enemies, the demons, although he was the son of the daughter of their eternal enemy, the demons, still the demigods accepted him as their priest. Opposite, na? Demons and demigods are opposite, but still the demigods accepted Vishwarupa as their priest. Now, actual priest is, who is the actual priest of demigods? Brihaspati. Yeah. But due to some reason which we will hear in 7th chapter, Parikshit Maharaj asked this question, how come the demigods accepted Vishwarupa as their priest? And it is said, in accordance with the order of Brahma, Brahmaji told, you accept Vishwarupa as your priest, when they were abandoned by their spiritual master Brihaspati, whom they had disrespected. Now the immediate next question, what will ask? Why these demigods disrespected Brihaspati? Right? Why they disrespected Brihaspati? Why Brahmaji, asked them to accept another priest? Brihaspati is their priest, but whom they disrespected and he went away. So the next question arises, why? What happened? So, every episode of a serial also ends with this question mark, so that we are eager to go to the next episode. What happens, So that's how the next chapter starts, that Indra offended his spiritual master Brihaspati. So Brihaspati left the arena. And then, when you offend your spiritual master, then what calamity may come, and the calamity came, and then how they rectified, and all the story goes ahead. So this is the topic of the next chapter. So Brahmaji came and said, okay, you take Vishwarup as your priest, and go ahead and do some rectification or whatever. So that's how this ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of sixth canto, sixth chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled "The Progeny of the Daughters of Daksha." Yes. So uh, here we end our session, chapter 4, 5, 6. The next seventh chapter is also very interesting, about how Indra got his lesson. First he disrespected, and then he got a lesson. So thank you all very much. If we have any comments or question, I will try now. We have 1 minute, 2 minutes left. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. May I ask one question?
Yes, Prabhuji, please. Thank you. बोलिए.
माताजी, जैसे ये दक्ष के जो कन्याओं से ये जो ऋषि थे, तो अलग अलग जीवों को इन्होंने उत्पन्न किया, तो ये मतलब कैसे, मतलब देखिए हो तो सकता है, संभव है, मैं ये नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ कैसे संभव है, बट क्या बोलते हैं इसमें, मतलब पिता देखिए पुरुष है, जो माता है वो भी स्त्री है, उससे अलग अलग जीव उत्पन्न हो रहे हैं, तो कैसे कोई स्पेशल मंत्र इन्वोक करके पुत्र उत्पत्ति करते थे, या माता का वैसा गुण था, वैसा वैसा था, क्योंकि पिता तो एक ही है, तो क्या इसमें कैसे ऐसा था?
Yeah, it is all arranged by the Lord to again bring all the species and all the demigods and all the birds and beasts and everyone in the creation. So that's how the Lord's arrangement. He empowered all of them, and that's how all the clouds and the birds and the snakes and reptiles and everything we read, they all came into being by Lord's arrangement only. So we cannot see. We see human being came from human only, but they were the Prajapatis, and that was their service at that time, to increase the progeny and to bring all these things in picture. So that was arranged by the Lord.
कैसे कोई विशेष मतलब मंत्रा को इन्वोक करके, जैसे कि हम 9th कैंटो में पढ़ते हैं, बृहस्पति ने सॉरी उन्होंने, जिसमें इला उत्पन्न हो गई थी, उनको लड़का चाहिए था, जो शुद्ध बाद में बना, बृहस्पति जी ने उन्होंने वशिष्ठ जी ने यज्ञ कराया था, तो विशेष प्रकार का मंत्र पढ़ने से पुत्र या पुत्री ऐसे उत्पन्न कराए जा सकते हैं ऐसे, तो क्या वैसे कुछ मंत्र उनके पास था?
Yes, so it might be there. We don't know the details, but it might be there. These great sage Kashyap Muni, and other great personalities, Prajapatis and all, they were very powerful, very devoted. So they might be having, of course, 100%, they might be having this knowledge and these mantras and everything, whatever is required. And Lord must be inspiring them. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Rukmani, Hari Premi Mataji.
Mate, Darwin theory fails here.
Yes, evolve. There are many theories.
Scientists, they will came to know about all these things if they read the Bhagavatam 6th canto, this chapter, 6th chapter. So
Yeah.
they will not gonna believe that how is it happened there. It's very difficult for them. As somehow we know that the shastras are only mothers, and we get all the knowledge from them. And Srila Prabhupada has written. Srila Prabhupada is a Shakta Veshavatar. He came from the spiritual world, from Golok Vrindavan. He has given us from all the shastras this and that we know. So
Yeah.
we are able to. Otherwise, it's difficult that how the creation is happening, and they believe in Darwin theory, and what we are gonna give them, what Prabhupada is giving them.
Yes, yes. We also hear this, like this giraffe had the long neck. Why? Because they were eating. Yeah, that was the reason they gave. But giraffe had long, neck. They already have. Now the scientists, I mean, I read somewhere, they were raising their necks to take the leaves, and so, they had a longer neck. But this is all their speculation, their discoveries, which is not true. But the words of the Shastras are true, irrespective of time, and it will always be true. It will always be true. So we can get real knowledge from these scriptures. Thanks to dear Srila Prabhupada who has provided us. Otherwise, it's difficult for us to understand this Sanskrit word. Pronunciation is itself difficult. What to speak of understanding and right understanding? You know? So, and Prabhupada has provided this in all the languages by his mercy. Now, anyone can access this knowledge.
Yes.
Mm.
And thank you so much, Mataji, for accepting the request and giving us your association for two very important sessions. It was really not easy to understand because if chapter 1 to 3, I was finding it is, we know the Jamil pastime, this and that, it was easy. But these prayers and it was finding me, I was finding it really difficult. But thank you so much for explaining it very nicely. Thank you for the association.
Actually, you all gave me the opportunity so that I again, I again read and went through this journey. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. So we are on time.
Yes, Anandila Mataji has also written. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Yes, Anand Leela Mataji, thank you for, even though you are traveling, but you tried your, attentively listening and being attentive and being, answering. So thank you. Hare Krishna. I appreciate.
Leela
Thank you
Prema,
so much, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Actually, I wanted to share something. My children were watching. There was a serial of Garud. So they showed that there was an egg. I mean, uh, Kashyapa and Vinita. I mean, they begot children from an egg. So they were surprised that they are human beings. How these serpents and these birds are coming from them. So the same thing Amrinder Prabhu and Rukmani Mataji said. So I just wanted to share that they were also, with surprise or shocked that what is going on, mummy.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it is. We are very small, insignificant to understand this. And sometimes it's difficult to digest, but it is our limitation. It is not Lord's limitation. He can do anything. It is our limitation
yes.
of not understanding because of our imperfect senses. But we have to accept. We have no other choice also. And better follow, stand. Never forget our bees, always stand and take shelter. And slowly, whatever is required, it will be revealed to us. Yeah. What a small ant in our kitchen platform will understand what I'm intending to cook today, or what I'm talking, or what I'm doing. The small ant is busy in her sugar pieces only. So that's how we are so insignificant in front of this big creation. What can we understand? Huge Manvantara, my God, how many things change. Even if we go to some place after a few years, we see, oh, the lane has changed. This has, even the rivers change their course. So different Manvantar, we say, oh, Sindhu is here, this river is there, but it is all, so much must have changed for sure. It's different yugas, and then so many yugas, and then so many Manvantars. It's long time. We are very insignificant. Still, we have given this opportunity to read and understand. So I'm grateful. Whatever I can understand, I know what I have to do. So let me carry on with that. Please help me, O Lord, that whatever Guru has said, I can do that simply. That is my perfection. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, just stand, be humble, and preach to your level. So that is what. Yeah, simple for the simple. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Mataji. So we will chant Hare Krishna mantra to thank Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, Mataji.
You Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Shri Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.